Hi, today the topic is called main memory operations. In this main memory operations, we are going to discuss nothing but the memory is how the memory is going to be organized. In the operating system, in the first semester operating system, we have discussed the topic called main memory and processor. How the data is going to be transferred from main memory to processor. Here, what is main memory? Let us see. Main memory is nothing but RAM. So from RAM to processor, how the data is going to be organized and what are the operations involved in that, today we will discuss. So both program instructions and data operands are stored in the memory. We know that in the memory both instructions and operands are going to be stored in the memory. To execute an instruction, the processor control circuits must cause the word or words containing the instructions to be transferred from the memory to the processor. So the processor control circuits must cause the word. Nothing but in the previous class we have discussed that memory words are going to be divided into different types like first word, second word, third word, dash, ith word and last word. Like this the words are going to be separated, so that memory words containing the instructions to be transferred from the memory to the processor. So from the memory to the processor the word instructions are there. Then the operands and results must also be moved between the memory and the processor. So here there is a relation between that processor and memory, that is operands and results must be moved together between that memory and the processor. Thus two basic operations involving in the memory are needed, that is first one is load operation and second one is store operation. So first load operation we can call it as a read or a fetch also. Load operation we can call it as read or fetch, and store operation we can call it as write operation. So first one is load operation. So what is a load operation we will discuss. So the load operation refers a copy of the contents of a specific memory location to the processor. So in the load operation transfers a copy of the contents. So one copy of the contents are going to be transfers of a specific memory location to the processor. Nothing but in the memory location to processor a copy of data is going to be transferred. The memory contents remain unchanged. In the memory content remain unchanged, change over. So to start a load operation, the processor sends the address of the desired location. So to start that load operation, whatever the desired location we need, so the processor sends the address of the desired location. Processor can send the address of a desired location to the memory and requests that its contents to be read. Requests that its contents be read. So the memory reads the data stored at that address and sends them to the processor. After that, reading the data, the memory reads the data, reading the data stored at that address, in particular address, and sends them to the processor and send back to the processor. So from that this is called the load operation. So in this basically the load operation what it can perform is a copy of content, a copy of data. Content is going to be specific memory location to the processor. Copy can transfer from specific memory location to the processor, and whenever whenever we are going to start that load operation, the processor sends the address of the desired location to the memory and requests that its contents be read. The memory reads the data stored at the address and sends them to the processor. Then next one is the store operation. The store operation what it can perform is transfers an item of information from the processor to a specific memory location. Here it is opposite. here specific memory location to the processor, but whereas it is from the processor to a specific memory location, destroying the former contents, whatever the previous former contents are there, those are going to be destroyed of that location. The processor sends the address of the desired location to the memory. The processor can send the address of the desired location to the memory together with the data to be written into that location. So after that, this write operation is going to be performed with that the written into that location. So that particular location, this store operation is going to be nothing but, store is nothing but what, write operation is going to be performed. So these are two operations in the main memory operations. And after that, when we are sending the data might be like a 1 byte of memory or 1 word. So an information item of either 1 word or 1 byte can be transferred between the processor and the memory in a single operation. Nothing but in one single operation, the data might be a 1 word or 1 byte of data can be transferred between the processor and the memory in a single operation. So for that, the instructions are going to be maintained a sequence by sending and moving these instructions from processor to processor to memory and memory to processor. So for that, and instructions are going to be maintained a sequence. Let us see how the instructions are going to be moved from one place to another place. It have a step-by-step instruction. Let us see. So the tasks carried out by a computer program consists of a sequence of small steps, like such as adding two numbers, or multiplying two numbers, or subtracting two numbers, whatever it may be. So adding two numbers and testing for a particular condition. Nothing but conditions is nothing but like if condition or a while condition or for like these conditions, testing for a condition, or reading a character from the keyboard. Nothing but performing an input operation like reading a character from the keyboard, or sending a character to the displayed on a display screen. Nothing but output operation. So performing an output operation like displaying an output on the display screen. So for that, a computer must have instructions capable of performing 4 types of operations. In these 4 types of operations are going to be performed sequentially, step by step. Let us see. First one is, so the data transfers between the memory and the processor registers. As you know, we have discussed that the data is going to be transferred in between the memory and the processor. This topic also we have discussed in the first unit, first semester, that is operating system. In that we discussed deeply how that memory is going to be organized, and that how that processors are there, how that processors are going to be performed. All we have discussed. So in that next one is, second one is arithmetic and logic operations on data. So as you know, in the CPU consists of ALU, nothing but arithmetic and logical unit. In that arithmetic and logical calculations, all manipulations are going to be performed. And after that, third one is a program sequencing and a control. So we know that in the CPU also control unit is there. So control unit can control all the operations perfectly. It can be organized by the control unit, like program sequencing and all those organized by the control unit. And after that, last one is IO transfers. Nothing but input and output transfers are going to be performed. How we need to take an input, and where that input could be stored in the memory, and how that memory is going to be given to the processor, and where that processor could be located in the particular address, and all these are going to be performed. And after that, output operation is also going to be performed, like where that output need to display in that monitor, or like printer, or how it is going to be organized. All these IO transfers are going to be take care. these 4 instructions and instruction sequencing is going to be maintained by this main memory operations. We begin discussing for that first types of instructions. To facilitate the discussion, we need to some notation which we present first. For this instructions, we will discuss that assembly language. Next topic we will discuss that all that instructions are going to be manipulated and managed by that assembly language. So that topic we will discuss in next video. Thank you. Bye.